Look what I got. Not sure if you can see it. I'm recording this with a Mobius action cam with the field of view set at narrow. Not sure if the video is probably 720p. But anyways, if you can't see the outside of the box because of the glare or it's dark in here, this is a Rock Island Armory gun that I got last night. And it is in M1911A1 in 9mm. It is a medium size or commander size gun with G10 grips. This has all the options. Hold on a second. Oh, I misspoke. It doesn't have all the options. It has all the options, but it doesn't have rails. It doesn't come with much, and plus there's plenty of other videos showing the unboxing of these things, so I'm not going to really get into what's in the box. It did have a couple of manuals, pamphlets and things like that I put aside. You know, I store all of those in one spot. It comes with a 10-round magazine. I thought it was a 9-round with one in the chamber, but this is a 10-round magazine. Okay, that's cool. I'm not going to argue with that. The ad where I bought the gun, I bought it from Gun Genie. It showed that it said that it was a 9-round magazine. But I know these can use interchange. You know, they can use various mags without issue. But this gun is actually, it's already cleared. It's got the chamber stopped inside, so I'm gonna take it out. Don't really see the need to actually do a chamber and a safety check on this since the chamber block was in, but we'll do it anyways. There you go, it's open, no magazine in there. There's no rounds in the magazine. So looking at this gun, this is a decent gun for the price. On Gun Genie, I bought this for right at 500 bucks. There are cheaper ones, but again, I got this. It was pretty much fully optioned, with the exception of the rail on the bottom. Has everything else. There are blemishes. This is a brand new gun. I took it out of the oil bag when I picked it up yesterday to inspect it before I actually signed the paperwork at the gun store. I actually I saw that it had never been taken out. But it's got a couple of blemishes, looks like, from the factory or packing. There's one there. Is there anything on this side? A couple of the areas where there's edges, looks like there's some rubbing or some type of I guess paint rubbing off. It's parkerized. And of course I'm already developing idiot marks. Let me see. I believe there's some right under the takedown pin, the handle. I thought I saw some that were on the slide where you break it down, but I'm not seeing it now. But yeah, I took it apart a couple of times last night. One just to kind of get a feel for how it breaks down, and then again afterwards, after I put it back together, I took it apart again to actually clean the weapon. This thing, I'm gonna have to get used to that because there are certain things I'm not used to. So on the full size, you can take this apart just by pressing down and taking out that I don't know what it's called. There's like a brace or a piece that a bevel. So you take that out and you can break it down. This one is different, where you can take the slide off, but in order to remove this recoil rod, you have to use like a paper clip, bend it, poke it into a hole that's in there, and it'll come out. The easy part is breaking it down. The hard part is getting it back together. The hardest part in getting it back together is putting this back into place, because there's a pin here between this and this. It's actually on this, I don't know what this is called. This is a rod here. But it's got like a pin, and you might be able to see it in the camera. It's got a pin right in between it. A lot of times it's hard to get that aligned properly. And if you don't get it aligned properly, this takedown pin is going to lock up. You won't be able to remove it. You won't be able to push it in further. And if the slide, when you do that, when you're putting it in, you got to kind of match up this notch with this notch up here on the takedown handle. And when you I guess when you do it, not only this locks up, but the slide locks up. And the only way to get it out is to get something to pry under the takedown handle and to pull it up. And as you can see, I need to be careful here because I've already got wear from where I was, trying to take it up with the pull it up with the screwdriver. Get a thick cotton cloth that'll minimize the damage, or get something like a soft metal screwdriver, something that's not going to damage it, even like a plastic coated or plastic dipped screwdriver tip. In fact, that's what I might do. I might just go and buy a couple of cheap screwdrivers just for the, for my gun kit, and plastic dip the tips, so that when I take off things such as grips, I don't mar anything. But yeah, part of that might be due to the parkerizing. I hear a lot of people complaining about the fact that the parkerizing scratches easily. But hey, guns are tools, and I don't mind wear. I'd rather wear this out than wear out my P220, Equinox. So there's some more wear right there. If you notice, this gun has a fiber optic front sight, dovetailed, and there is wear on the top of the metal part, I guess, of the front sight. It looks like the parkerizing is wearing off. Maybe it was rubbing against this foam in transit, and if that's the case, that means this parkerizing, this parkerized coating is way too soft if it's doing that, for foam to kind of rub it off. But this is a 9mm. The paperwork, what did I do with the paperwork? It's not here. Paperwork states, let me see if I got the computer page still up. Yes, I do. So the capacity says it's 9 plus 1. That magazine is 10. That means this is a 10 plus 1 gun. Whoa, the weight is 40 ounces. So yeah, these grips are G10 grips. They are extremely aggressive. In fact, my wife and my daughters, that was their first comment. It was like, whoa, these grips, not liking them. They don't bother me so much because I know what a gun is, and I have more experience handling guns than they do. But it's something that, that's something to be said. I have seen reviews where people have been complaining about the aggressiveness of these grips. So yeah, here's the barrel, the polishing chamber area. On the older Rock Islands, they actually have a big banner that says Rock Island Armory here. I'm glad they did away with that because it looked kind of gaudy. They kind of shrunk everything down and placed like one emblem on the gun right there, nowhere else. So the gun side, the rear sights are Novak 2 dots on the back, and I believe they're driftable, so they're adjustable. This front fiber optic, it looks kind of beat up from the top, but it actually, the color kind of pops when you're actually aiming. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. looks different looking at it this way than up on the top. It's got ambidextrous manual safety. It is stiff. I'm hoping that'll kind of loosen up a bit over time. I know you don't want safeties loosening up to the point of where they engage easily, but this is a bit more stiff than what I'm used to. This is actually the first gun I own that has a manual safety too, as well as it being my first 1911 ever. I don't even have experience shooting 1911s, none whatsoever. About the only thing I've done is actually hold them in gun stores. But I do, you know, at one point I did not even desire a 1911. I couldn't stand them actually. The looks, but the heft, I like the heft, and I actually bought another one that's on the way. If Bud's Gun Shop wakes up and gets off their butt and ships it, I'll have it. It's a 45 1911. It is actually, it's not a Rock Island. It's a American Classic in Commander size. That's, again, it's M45. I wanted two variants. I know this is going to be a soft shooter because of the weight of the gun, not specifically because it's 9mm. So it might even control the muzzle lift. That, you know, because 9mm, they tend to have certain traits that other guns don't. They're not snappy, but they do have muzzle lift. I have a feeling that this is gonna kind of tame that down a bit because of the weight of this gun. I got one in 45 because I wanted to kind of experiment and need both of these guns are priced to the point where I can experiment with low cost. Yeah, if I don't like one or the other or both, I can sell them. 1911 platform guns sell pretty decently. So yeah, but I'm kind of excited about getting that 45 in because that one is supposedly, both of these, this one and that one are both Philippine-made guns. So some people kind of harp on the quality and, you know, they get what you pay for type deal. I'm not all about that. Guns are tools. It doesn't have to be pretty for me to work. All it has to do is go bang. It has to be dependable. We're gonna see if this one and the other one are dependable. If so, they're keepers. But all that being said, the Metro Arms American Classic that I bought, that one is supposed to be, the finish and quality on that is supposed to be a step above this. So we'll see, because really I thought that Arms Corps actually makes both of those guns. They're just different, I guess, different manufacturing lines, but Arms Corps does it all. And correct me if I'm wrong, you know, leave comments in the videos or whatnot, but that's from my understanding. But we'll see. The finish is not Parkerized on that 45 that's on the way. That one was cheaper than this one. I believe I paid $463 from Bud's Gun Shop on that. I'm hoping I can get that within another week. It still hasn't even shipped yet, and this is day 4. I ordered this one and the Bud's Gun Shop guns on the same night. I got this yesterday, so right at the top of 3 days, maybe even less, I got this gun. And Bud's Gun Shop hasn't even shipped the other 2 guns yet. The other gun I got, besides that 45, is a 9mm 6-hour P320 in the carry version. I got that for $500. So I got a break on the price on that. so I'm not really gonna complain so much about, you know, Bud's gun shop and their lack of shipping. But I have to say I might not order from them anymore because I just don't believe in giving them $1,000 and having your $1,000 of product floating around, you know, in limbo until they decide that they're ready. You know, if it's not in stock or they have to wait for the gun and a part to, you know, to get it, that's fine. Just communicate that. Figure out some way in the system to kind of automate that process. Because this is the internet age, and when I order stuff from Amazon, I know right off the bat if it's on back order or whatnot. You know, I mean, even if Amazon does that, even though they use different distributors, and I know Buds does too. But I'm not gonna give Buds a pass just because, you know, people say, oh, well, you got a good deal. You know what? Get with the times and actually be competitive. This isn't bad. Some people don't like the fact that this protrudes. And this is not flush. That's probably where that 10-round magazine comes in. If it was 9, it would be flush, I believe. Some people like them flush without the little plastic base plate. This isn't bad to me. I'm not going to carry this. I don't have a carry license. I don't have time to get one before I move. So I might get one just to say I have one. But I don't know. We'll see. But the gun is good. Magazine drops nice. It's got an extended magazine release. Magazine pops out really good. The magazine release is actuated. If you notice, the the trigger and the hammer are actually sculpted out. This one isn't. This trigger is kind of loose. I need to figure out how to tighten that up. It's also adjustable. I think you can adjust kind of the take up a bit. There is some play here. And you know what? The trigger pull is crisp. I'm going to say that right now. It's very crisp. I have no idea where that came from. There you go. If you notice, it has the beaver tail and grip safety. Not all of them come with that. I like the fact that these screws are hex head. My other my P320 has actual screws. I can see that being problematic. You know, one slip of the screwdriver and you're taking off a coat of varnish off of the wood grips. I'm pretty sure I can replace those though. If you look down on the bottom, I don't know if you can see it. It says Philippines, and it also says Pahrump, Nevada. That's where the importer is located. Rock Island. Action is smooth. There's no slide play. You can't hear anything. I can't feel anything wiggling. Actually, I can, just a very, very little bit. None in the front. Tiny bit in the back. You could see some gapping back here on one side, but not the other. So just right at the top there, right above the rail. That's not a huge deal. I know that the tolerances on these guns aren't as tight as, you know, the one in $2,000 1911s, but I didn't buy this gun for the tight, you know, for the lack of tight tolerances or the tolerances. I just bought it so it can go bang. But really, that's, you know, you have to look at it that if I compare this to a $2,000 1911, that's an apples and oranges comparison. It really is. That's like comparing a Honda Accord to a top of the line Infiniti or Audi. It's not fair. It's not a fair comparison, and I don't do that. If you notice here, look at the barrel. It's flared out on the front. I don't know what they call that. I've heard the term bull barrel. I don't know if that's what this is. The recoil guide rod is full length. I've heard some people complain about that. I think if it's half length, I might not have to worry about that sticking a what do you call it, a paper clip into the rod to take it out. I think that's the case, but I'm not sure. Some things that I might need to kind of be ready for is the recoil guide springs on the guns are sometimes people complain that they lose their springiness and they have to be replaced. So I'll watch out for that. And they say it happens pretty soon, like within like less than 1,000 rounds. So I'll keep an eye out for that. I like their grip, so I'm gonna keep them unless they start really eating into my hands. And even so, they're keepers for me. So even if I decide to get another set for looks, these will just stay in the box, and I'll swap them out from time to time. But yeah, so far I'm happy with the gun. I have not shot it yet. I plan on taking it to the range. I've got a TW25B on the rails. Not sure. Nope, can't see it. But it's sliding across those rails really nice. Feels really good. When I rack the slide, it feels a little bit different than well, all my other guns are, well, my two other guns are poly, and then there's the Equinox, which is not. That thing's a beast. The spring on that is like almost too. I have problems actually racking that thing, so it's stiff, and maybe I just need to keep racking the slide and putting rounds through it. I don't even have that many rounds through it. Probably less than 200. But those springs are super stiff, and I'm hoping that the 45 9mm that my 45 1911 is coming in. I hope it's not as stiff. But this one, super easy to pull, even more so than my my poly guns. But yeah.